the dopest styles.
We're your lifelong neighbor. Call 773.
Y'all don't know they be popping up in the studio, honey. Steve Neely, what a blast! What's going on? Hey, Michael Ghost. What's up, Tanya?
The Brian P. Pickett funeral. Honoring life, supporting families, and
hi, Am. Is that you, Kim? What's up, girl?
Are you ready to take your business to the next level?
Hey, honey.
The best way to reach new customers is by getting your message.
T Breezy. That's right, T Breezy in the building. So apparently, there's some things going on that you guys need to know about. And guess who's going to tell it? Not today, but the rest of this week, I'm going to be talking about what's going on with this bond rating. You might not see how it's going to affect you just immediately, but I'm telling you now, I'm going to break it on down and bring it on home for you so you will know. What's up? Yeah, I knew you was gonna ready to put it on Do Not Disturb. And then I go through Do Not Disturb the whole time.
I turn it off.
No, you do not turn it off every day because it's always on, and then I can't get my phone calls. Hey, how was Thanksgiving, y'all? It was cool. Let me tell you something. We didn't have any nasty Thanksgiving food. What's up, Vintage Roxy? The worst thing you can do is have nasty Thanksgiving food. Like, seriously. Or, no, the second worst is Christmas. I'm telling you, right, at the table, I'm telling you. I'm talking about it at the table.
If the food isn't that bad, the gifts kind of...
We work for you. We're in the raw with Tamara Pear on the Brunch Bunch.
So apparently, Costco is angry. Did I make it a 3-syllable word? Angry at Trump. So angry that Costco is suing the Trump administration and seeking refunds on tariffs. Who even knew that was a thing, right? So for all of you guys who are dependent on getting overseas goods, you might want to listen to this. So the wholesale club giant Costco's Wholesale has filed a lawsuit against Donald J. Trump's administration, asking the Court of International Trade to declare all tariffs assessed under the International Emergency Economic Power Act, which is the IEEPA, unlawful, and to force a full refund for all the duties the companies have paid under that scheme. Costco argues that the so-called reciprocal tariffs imposed via an executive order exceeds the authority granted under the IEEPA. It's in filing submitted on November the 28th, right before that was right before the holiday. Costco contends that the administration's use of emergency powers to levy wide-ranging tariffs violates both statutory limits and constitutional separation of powers constraints. Well, the lawsuit marks a bold challenge from the major U.S. retailer, turning what thus far has been largely political and an economic debate over tariff policy into a direct legal confrontation. Well, Costco demands for refunds potentially amounting to substantial sums given the large volume of international trade underscores how corporate and consumer interests may push back when trade policies shift abruptly under emergency powers. Well, observers note this could open the door for other companies seeking similar relief if the courts side with Costco. Well, beyond the immediate financial implications, the case raises even larger questions about the scope of executive power over trade and national emergencies. Well, if the Court of International Trade rules in favor of Costco, it could curb future use of IEEPA-based tariffs without explicit congressional authorization, while reshaping how the U.S. handles global trade in times of perceived national economic emergency. Well, in short, Costco's lawsuit doesn't just seek money back. It challenges the legal foundation of a sweeping Trump-era trade policy. Depending on how the court rules, this could force a major recalibration of U.S. tariff powers and provoke a surge of similar legal challenges from other importers. So, ladies, all of you all who are getting your hair from China, here's some reprieve, right? And for all the people, what y'all looking at, you know you got some ladies with some hair from China. I don't think this came from China, but it might have. But anyway, literally, so many small businesses and large businesses. Like Costco is a giant, right? So many small and large businesses depend on international trade, and these tariffs have been an imposition on so many people's businesses. But the flip side to that, which was what we're going to really dive in deep with this week on talking about what's going on because we're in the fourth quarter, right? So the fourth quarter is when many companies their fiscal year ends, and so you want to make sure your fourth quarter is strong, right? And that's why Christmas is such a big deal. But when you have these tariffs, it really lessens the amount of goods that you can actually buy to sell. So it really makes a trickle down effect. But let me tell you something that you may or may not know. These tariffs are designed to actually fill this huge gap, this huge gaping hole of our, we are like literally in trillions of dollars worth of debt. And it doesn't look very good as to how we're going to get out of debt. When I say we, I'm talking about the United States. I say, once you guys really hear this entire week and what we're going to explain to you in layman's terms, so everybody, even a fifth grader could understand it. But the $1 trillion, deficit is only what we're paying for what we're using to borrow, right? And so Japan, so that's like the third largest line item in our debt consolidation, and only to exceeding that is Medicaid and Social Security, right? So really we're at $38.3 trillion in debt. I don't understand how we could be in $38.3 trillion in debt. I'm saying that, but I do understand it. I didn't understand it, but now I do understand it. Because if you keep borrowing money, and you can keep borrowing money, and that's anybody. That could be a country, it could be a person, it could be a company. You can keep borrowing money, particularly if you got long-term bonds, right? And these long-term bonds, when I say long-term, they're like 30, 40-year bonds. And that's how you hear government saying, well, we're gonna borrow against our bond, right? So the bond rating is very important. What we're gonna dive into this week is how Japan has changed the landscape of the bond industry, and literally Japan holds most of the United States bond debt, right? So we're going to talk about that, but these are things that you need to pay attention to. So this week I want you to get your pens, your papers, your pads, or maybe even your recorders out, because this is some interesting information that you definitely need to hear. Now, Costco doing this is game changing depending on how the courts decide, because it could, like the article says, it could really to have a trickle down effect as to how other companies approach these tariffs that are largely dependent on overseas goods in order to do trade in the United States. But we're going to keep it rolling right here. And you know what? I say these things with a smile after I drop a bomb on you, because there's always a relief. You know, we are a solution-based show, and we're going to give you some relief. But in the meantime, in between time, we're going to keep the party going over here on the Brunch Bunch. This is really bad, y'all. This is really bad. Like, you will understand how really bad it is when we dive into it a little bit more. This I want you to keep, because I'm going to refer to this in the rest of the week, okay? I sent you some more articles that I want to dive into and put Jeff on the show for Thursday. He will come at the top of the hour. So y'all think because you're not getting hair, you're not getting trinkets, you're not getting toys wrapped in plastic, that this situation doesn't affect you, but it absolutely does. It will affect everyone everywhere. So I want to make sure you guys understand it so that you can prepare for it. It's not something that you should panic about. It's definitely something you should prepare. What's up, Jackie? Hey, honey. Hey, E. Perkins. Camden's mom. Hey, beautiful. Y'all, it's crunch time. It's go time. It's go time. So is Winona here? Did y'all do this? Nobody did this. Y'all just kept playing music. Oh, don't think I'm gonna have your back either, okay? Don't think I'm gonna have it. I don't care how cute your hair looks. Okay. I don't care how cute your hair looks. If you ain't got mine, it's hot in here. Maybe because I got my jacket on still, huh? Whew. You know what? When I walked out the door today, and it's like literally snow all over the ground, but I felt good. It's not cold. It's not INGing, huh? No, it's not INGing, and when I can't stand it when it's snowing, raining.
Yeah. And it snows like 2 days straight.
Yeah.
So, like every time I walk outside, it's snowing again. Like,
you know what? Chicago has turned into pumps. You know, no, seriously, because like global warming has made it warmer winters, and so when it snows and rains, people just lose their minds. They're sitting at the red lights, honking horns, huh? No, it hasn't made. It's made us have warmer weather, especially in the winter. And we have like when it snows, but it snows less frequent.
But when it does, I'm saying it's more noticeable.
Last year we didn't get the first snow until
Yeah. Deep in the end. Yeah.
But I'll tell you like this, back in the day, I ain't had to drive. Now that I got to drive, I'm complaining. It's snowing again. I got a shovel.
That's because y'all ain't like under 20.
Right.
Because and then you jump out the window into the snow.
I'm not under 30 either.
Well, I thought I'd just keep it a buck. So I didn't have to really like blast you out. You know what I can't stand? Tell me what I can't stand somebody to come to me and ask me, how old are you? I be wanting to slap them. In my head, I do. But, of course, I can't just go around slapping people. Really? Yeah, I never take it like that.
I asked every dude at the basketball court how old he was last night. I just wanted to know.
Why?
I needed to know if I could still roll with the young boys. They was all 20.
So you just went and took a survey?
Yeah.
You didn't have nothing better to do but survey the age of these kids.
I'm 31. They dress different. They talk different. And I need to know
What's
their
up,
age.
Michelle? What's up, DJ B-Lo? Billy in the building. Hey, yes, knowledge is power, Tanya. I'm telling you, I'm about to drop some nuggets on y'all.
it depends on who says you look old.
Yeah.
I'm told
If it's a guy saying I'm older or something, if it's a woman saying I'm
That hurts
older,
y'all.
it stings a little bit.
people think that I'm younger than I am. They get some but if
Don't worry, keep living. It won't get on your nerves soon.
someone older than
It won't get on my nerves.
thinks that I'm older or whatever, I'm like, oh, does that mean I'm like wise?
Oh, Tanya said that's because they're trying to make sure that you're legal so they can kick it with you.
Oh, that's cool.
Only Inglewood Tanya will come up with that foolishness. That is real, but it's real crazy.
Visit our website.
Okay, R. Kelly. No, literally, Robert used to have all the girls give him, after the case, he would have them give their IDs. You do know. Yeah, NDAs and IDs. Let me tell you something. I can see it in my face. I ate my whole face fat on Thanksgiving. I'm going on a strict diet. Not really. I mean, I'm saying it in my mind, but I can't imagine that I'm going to follow through with it.
If I was rich, yes. Everybody that comes through that door, let me see your ID, and you gotta sign this NDA. 100%.
Why?
You think Beyonce party without NDAs, bro?
No, come on. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
I've been to plenty celebrity parties. They don't be asking for NDAs. The only party I've ever been to that asked me for an NDA.
Hey, you left before the you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
The real party.
Oh, absolutely. I wasn't at Diddy's party. And no, I do not. What you supposed to be doing on
You see
your
that
phone?
Diddy doc
Nothing.
on Netflix?
What you here for?
There's a whole Diddy doc.
You better do
50
something.
Cent.
I'm talking about get to work. Make me look like you. Make think you working.
SE.com.
Yeah, 50 Cent dropped his documentary.
What y'all doing?
Yeah. Oh.
No, I don't want you to take no over. I guess you. They're waiting for one. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna do Marcel.
Nutrition has the knowledge, experience, and can guide you every step of the way. Call 773-909-9002 today and let nutrition know.
So yeah,
That's 773-909-9002.
oh, you know what, Michelle? When you first came on, it said Michelle 0.60. Now it's not 0.6008. What is going on with Instagram? Hey, did you guys see that Near the Pier got the third? It's an award for the third highest and best. What is it?
773.
Yeah, business rating. And you know, to be a child care facility on the Gold Coast, wow, that is amazing. And if you want to register your child there, please call 312-527-2223. Ask for Tanya, the director who led us to this fabulous award. Hey.
That's to be #1 on the ballot for their race.
So
Deshaun K. Ford will be #1 on the ballot
30
for the
seconds.
7th congressional district. This gives our campaign a huge boost in this election. And we hope you
I think
will help
we
us
should put
continue
some
to fuel
more
this
music back
campaign
to
by
because it does
volunteering,
sound a little bit
by donating.
bland.
We need your help. to
Hi,
win this
everybody.
election on March
Make yourselves
17th.
comfortable.
So
Have
go
a
to
seat.
SportPartners.com and sign up to volunteer. Sign up to
10
donate.
seconds.
We're ready to win this race.
We're gonna wait for
The
Winona
momentum
for
is
before
on
the
our
guest start,
side.
or you want to just go on?
WorkWithCongress.com.
Paid for by LaShawn K. Ford.
Wait.
Congress.
Where's the action, Jackson?
I'll tell you what's going on.
So everything is. Most conversations now are talking about immigrations, ICE, all of the accomplishments that they have. Well, I won't say that's accomplishments. All of the things that they have done, I don't know that we can call them accomplishments. However, their overall or overarching goal was to come here and dilute crime. Well, it has done so many other things. And as immigration sweeps across Chicago this fall, communities stepped in to get kids to school safely. Now, can you imagine how fearful parents and children have been during this immigration sweep, taking their children to school, not knowing if ICE is going to take them out of their classrooms and they never see them again, or be a long time before they actually reunited? Well, this fall, a wave of immigration enforcement, notably U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Of course, for those of you who know America, we love our acronyms. That's ICE. And related federal agents rolled through Chicago's neighborhoods under an operation called Operation Midway Blitz. Nobody asked for it. We still got it. Toyota. Well, their presence triggered widespread fear among immigrants and immigrant communities. Well, many parents were too alarmed to send their children to school, and it started a drop in attendance. Of course, that would be something because parents were fearful to take them. So they avoided school pickup and drop-off spots for fear of detentions. So on several days, attendance at mostly Latino schools fell sharply, and in one case, dropping as low as 78%. Well, in response, community members mobilized quickly, and in the neighborhoods such as Little Village and Albany Park, volunteers and parents organized walking school buses and magic school buses. So groups and vans that escorted children to and from school to bypass potentially dangerous areas. And you know, they had a map. And so you could actually look on a heat map on your phone and you could tell where the immigration officers were because people were actually reporting it, kind of like Waze, right? Well, Albany Park now uses 50 volunteers to transport nearly 90 students daily. In Little Village, community organizers, including Little Village Community Council, played a central role. One organizer described getting constant calls to coordinate school pickups and monitoring for enforcement activities nearby. Imagine how that impacts families' ability to go to work. Well, the impact of these efforts is visible in data, while attendance dipping during peak enforcement seasons. And over the course of these weeks, they will analyze daily attendance at many Latino majority schools remained close to last year's levels. However, before enforcement began, attendance ran around 94% in many schools under them. And then when the enforcement started to get more widespread, it dipped to the levels that we aforementioned, but often rebounded within the week. At predominantly Latino high schools, the rate dropped to about 89 to 80 to 90%. Well, district officials at CPS tried to ease the burden. They allowed schools to mark absences as excused as opposed to unexcused because it's a different connotation. So when children stayed home out of fear, meaning families wouldn't get truancy warnings, and parents wouldn't get calls saying that they were actually contributing to the truancy, right? So still students who missed school had to make up their work. So CPS resisted calls for broad remote learning options, instead maintaining that the school was the safest place for children. At the heart of it all, parents, teenagers, volunteers, and community groups stepped up to preserve some sense of normalcy, turning schools into anchor points again and showing that when institutions seem endangered, communities come together and make it happen. Well, I'm excited about that because this was very fearful. And in the child care facilities, we actually did ICE drills. We showed because we have, well, let me not say that, but let me just say we did ICE drills. And so, you know, we have the option of not letting ICE into our facilities. And so we trained our teachers make sure the doors are locked. Make sure you do a double lock. And if that be the case, we can start at an underground railroad to safety. And because it's not just the teachers that are in danger, they were scooping up kids too. Just imagine you bringing your child to school and then the administrator have to call you back and say, oh, ICE came and got them. So I'm excited about how the community has band together and actually made a difference. And that's what we have to do, everybody. We have to make a difference in the face of adversity. I don't care how dangerous it is. I don't care how fearful it is. I say it often, do it scared. Well, we're not going to do it scared up in here. We are operating in faith, not fear. And we got a great show for you today with two great guests, of course. It's Tuesday Community Chatter, and you know why Nona always brings the best guests. So stay tuned. Keep it locked right here on the Brunch Bunch.
Good energy fills me. I feel the love. I know it's not me.
Oh, she said start without her. Harold Mays, that's you. You've been here before.
Not on this show.
Not on this show. I've seen you before. Okay, and you are Keith?
I am.
All right.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, and Tamara. Very nice to meet you. Thank you so much for coming. That purple and gold, what is that? That's what I thought. When you come in, you got to put them hooks up. Where did you pledge? Oh, okay.
My favorite fraternity. In fact, I named one of my perfumes after it. The Q Factor.
Sure, it smells wonderful.
Does it smell good, guys? In fact, somebody smells like they got it on. So I'm going to talk about Harold first, not because he's a cute, but because he came first on the page. And then to you, Mr. Keith, Shadows of Sobriety. Oh, that's nice. That's your book?
That's my book.
From someplace personal?
Pretty good.
Yeah. Where you been? You got a tan. The show ain't here.
I was born with it.
You was born with a tan?
Yep.
That's what I'm talking about, bro.
45 seconds.
I feel good. I'm so grateful.
This is Winona's intro song, no matter what. 38. I think we need to fade it though, so we can get both of them in and have the time that they need.
I'm so blessed. I feel good.
Hi there, it's Winona Redmond. It's time to win because it's time for Community Chatter, brought to you by Win-Win Communications.
All we do is win, 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 no matter what on this Tuesday. And we got two winners in the building, y'all. That's Harold Mays. He's the director of the Illinois Department of Lottery. I know that resonates with many of you. And Keith Burton, he is the author of The Shadow of Sobriety, A Journey of Self-Discovery and Healing, A Family Legacy. First up to the mic is Harold Mays. He was born and raised in Chicago on the West Side, serves as director of the Illinois Department of Lottery, whose primary mission is to responsibly generate funding to support K through 12 education in Illinois. He is the immediate past president of the North American Association of State and Provincial lotteries, whose mission is to advocate for state and provincial lottery organizations on matters and general lottery policy and leverage collaboration, communication, education, and information. He is here to break it down to you on a level that you can understand it. And I want to give a big brunch bunch welcome to Mr. Harold Mays. Harold, thank you so much for joining us. Let me tell you something. When I hear lottery, I've already spent all that money before I even buy my ticket. So you have, I know this has got to be one of your dream jobs, right?
You know, I didn't grow up thinking I was going to be running the lottery, so I can't say it was my dream job, but as I got into it, it has definitely become that.
Well, let me tell you something. It's my dream to win the lottery and go somewhere and sit down. I didn't say sit on purpose, and sit down. So what's new at the lottery? You know, I'm excited about the fact that the lottery is funding education. I'm also excited about the fact that a portion of the lottery is going to the UNCF. So that was a huge deal. So what else is new at the lottery?
You know, it's we were in the holiday season, and so
So you brought us some holiday lottery tickets?
I left that in my other jacket.
Oh, you can go right here and get it, and I'll start talking to him. No.
We have a retailer downstairs, but no, it's holiday time. It's a big time of year for us. We love to join into the festiveness of the season with our new lineup of holiday tickets.
Oh, let's talk about that lineup.
We have 5 holiday themed tickets this year.
Are they seasonal?
They're seasonal.
And so they have a finite beginning time and a finite ending time.
Yes, they do, and they're very specific for the holidays.
Okay.
Christmas theme, holiday theme. And with those tickets come a second chance offering. So if you don't win, you can enter your non-winning ticket into a second chance drawing for prizes from $500 to the grand prize of $250,000.
So for free, you could just re-enter it for free. You don't have to pay
Yeah.
another $1. Now I need 5 of those. Okay.
Well, you have 5
That's
entries if you
awesome.
win. So we really lean into the holidays, and this is a great opportunity to celebrate with players. We also are showing up in different parts of the community. We were recently at the Festival of Lights on Mag Mile last week. So that's always.
No, that was
great.
exciting.
It really was. It's a great time for us to engage with players.
Mm-hmm.
And we're also going to be at the Chris Kendall Market in Aurora on the 20th and 21st for a couple of days, spending time out there doing giveaways and that sort of things.
So wait a minute. So you at the festivals, you giving away lottery tickets? Y'all take down these addresses. Can you imagine winning $250,000 and you got it at a giveaway fest? No, but that's game changing, right?
It really is, but it ties into the time of year, and we really love being able to be out there with our players and offer them games that they want to play during the holiday season. It's the gifting time, so we also remind people to gift responsibly.
You know what? I never thought about that. Gifting a lottery ticket.
A lot of people do that. It's one of the most common things that we hear from our players, that they actually gift lottery tickets to their friends and family during the holiday season. And so we love that, but we also want them to do that responsibly because they are for adults. You don't ever want to give a lottery ticket to someone under 18. So we want to.
Because now let's just be honest. If you gave somebody a lottery ticket under 18 and they won $1 million, would you not take it back? I would run that right back here. But you're right, because they can't cash in on the winnings, right?
They can't cash in on the winnings, and it's actually illegal to do that. But the players don't necessarily understand that.
Yeah, because they're just thinking, I'm giving you a gift, and it could change your life.
Event. We do it every year, and we pass out lottery tickets to everybody. But let's try to do that responsibly. We work with the Illinois Council of Problem Gambling on a Gift Responsibly campaign every year, so we're in the middle of that as well.
So what is Get in the Spirit sweepstakes?
Well, in addition to the holiday tickets and the second chance offering that we have a Gift Responsibly Getting in the Spirit sweepstakes that's online. So you can go to our website, IllinoisLottery.com, and enter into a sweepstakes to win prizes up to $500 and $2,500.
Oh, nice. And so the Illinois Lottery is changing the scope of how it has been and literally coming into the modern era. So you can buy lottery tickets online, and you've been able to do that for a while.
We've been able to do
but
that.
these new products, these are game changing. I think I'll get me some of these.
Well, definitely do that, and suggested others do that as well. And we're actually the first lottery to sell online like 12 years ago. So we've been online for a long time selling tickets.
Illinois Lottery?
Yeah.
Oh, I love first like that. So Miss Winona in the building, you brought 2 great guests. Yes, once again.
I had some of the best friends.
Yes,
ever.
you do. Let me say this though. The next time you bring someone from the lottery, can you just make sure that they bring everybody in the studio free lottery tickets?
but that's what we're getting ready to talk about, rolling out plenty of opportunities to have some giveaways, right?
Yes.
Yeah, well, yeah, we do have some holiday sponsored giveaways this season. So,
yeah. You know, this is one of the, I don't just say, everybody talks about Giving Tuesday on December 2nd. And Chicago leads the world with some of the best givers. So this season of giving, it's Giving Tuesday, but the lottery is one of the best gifts you can give. And I want to just congratulate Harold Mays. This is his third term. You almost got a record going, right?
I think it might be a record.
Wait, you get elected to your position?
Appointed by the government.
Appointed.
And Illinois has had lots of directors, but Director Mays was just appointed to his third term.
That's
consecutively. Big. And he mentioned that
let's give him a hand for that.
Yeah. Awesome. But he's mentioned being online, but and you have different generations of players. And what I've always been impressed by, I'm happy to be on the lottery control board. I've worked in administration in the past, is that it funds great causes.
Mm-hmm.
And under his leadership, that they've consolidated causes under the bingo ticket, my favorite ticket. So Tamara, yes, think how great it is that you can get lottery tickets. Think how sad I am that I can't play my favorite ticket, the bingo ticket. I used to say, my late grandmother, Ruby Butler, I was like, if I could just go to the lottery and pay to put on a scratch off for her, because she bought them religiously. And I was like, can I just pay for her to win?
Oh,
but
it don't work like that, sis.
But in this season of giving, it's important to have friends. And so Harold Mays is a visionary director, and Keith Burton is a friend like no other, a longtime friend. When you think of over 30 years, and the late Paul Davis was one of our common friends. His mother turns 90, so some of us will be going to celebrate her as Paul Beeper's friend, Black Public Relations Society friends. But Keith Burton was a big friend to all that I've done in public relations, all that we did with the National Black Public Relations Society. And, this season of dealing with mental illness, dealing with the sadness of the holidays, dealing with the different family dynamics. So it's, we got to celebrate giving. We got to look at all the great causes, but the lottery tickets have real causes,
Yeah, because one thing you just mentioned, there's a sadness that sometimes, and a lot of people experience it around the holidays. But if they could just get that lottery ticket, they probably wouldn't be so sad.
I have a relative who keeps saying, I just got to win the lottery.
Just one time.
I just got to win the lottery so I can quit. But I know our time always runs out, but I know that we welcome Director Mays back. And what we're going to be doing, of course, the lottery supports all of the different media and the advertising side. But on the other side, the charitable side and all of the promotions we're going to have, this month we'll get to work with Director Mays and the communications team at the lottery to share giveaways. So
how can people come and get some of these giveaways? What's the address? When are the dates? What are the times?
So when we start giving away through our slot, we'll work it out.
We are. We're working. We have a campaign that will be on various different radio stations.
Okay.
We'll be giving away tickets on the air. So you don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to show up anywhere.
Well, I'm just saying
We'll
you're on a radio station.
Right from here.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
Not the advertising side, right from here, the giveaway. But
Gotcha.
The causes. Let's talk about the causes. Then we're going to swing over to Keith and talk about, our families that are healing and broken and how we support these times of the year. So
for most people who don't know, 99% of our proceeds go to fund K-12 education. That 1%, though, is due to the sales of one scratch ticket that we have for specialty causes. And that ticket generates roughly $1 million a year for various different specialty causes. Causes like breast cancer, veterans support, multiple sclerosis, Alzheimer's, UNCF, the Dream Fund. And these causes are part of that specialty ticket program, and they get proceeds from the sale of our 7X multiplier bingo ticket. Which is in market all the time.
My favorite ticket. I can't play.
She must have won that one multiple
I never
times.
won it. I just love bingo.
Oh, okay.
So it's fun and it's
fun, it's exciting, and it has a very specific purpose. We like to say play with purpose. And with that ticket, it's a very specific purpose for the proceeds of that.
Well, I got to tell you, Harold, you have really been a blessing to me, because now I know what I'm getting my entire family. Because I wasn't getting
bingo
nothing.
tickets.
Yeah, that.
$5 bingo ticket. Yeah.
$5
bingo
bingo.
ticket. And
Did you have to mention the price?
$5
It's $100 bingo ticket, and I gave it to you.
They have an opportunity to win.
That's true.
And
Absolutely.
support millions in
That's
good
right.
causes. But Keith, I wanted to say welcome. I've been running around putting out fires, and let me just tell you how prayer works. We had a family medical emergency, and we were in the family group chat and everything. And our cousin that we were praying for, right from Christ Hospital, he called and said, they're releasing me. All of my tests were good. All the bleeding stopped. So
Amen.
We just found out,
Praise report.
So we love our cousin Jerry Dotson. But I say all of that to say that when we look at family times, Keith Burden, I was amazed. Keith is a global communicator. He's run large agencies, but I didn't realize, Keith, that you had written this great book. We run out of time, so I want you to jump in, introduce yourself. And Keith has written a book that touches so many lives, and we definitely will figure out a way to give away some. But Keith, welcome. And you have covered a subject with your family, and you've touched so many. And your brother is a pastor, and he's even helping minister to people. You bring up a very serious subject. We have depression at this time. We have families with different addictions and children in the midst. So welcome, Keith. Introduce yourself.
Winona, thank you very much.
And you're a communicator, so frame your background your book.
I'll do it tomorrow also by telling you that I found myself many nights in different places around the world because I ran large firms and I had clients all over the world. So I would travel with these clients during the day. I would counsel them on issues, help on crises that would come up, whatever they had in their specific part of the world. But in the evening, when I would go to my hotel room, there I would face my own demons, the things that I'd gone through growing up, which were very challenging for me. I grew up one of 4 children of a father who was an alcoholic for over 20 years. So it was a very difficult time for us. I learned that there's a dichotomy in life for me, and that was, while I looked good on the outside, on the inside, and I want you all to think about this when you think about people that you may see in the world, what you see is not always what they are, okay? Very often we struggle with things in the workplace and in our lives, and I think it's very important to know those things and to really get to know people. Shadows of Sobriety is not about an addiction or an alcohol problem I had. It's about the shadows that I lived under growing up with my family, with my father as part of my life. And it was a lifelong effort for me to do this. I mentioned to Harold earlier when we were talking outside, what caused me to finally write this book was I went over to the doctor one day to talk to him about the panic attacks that I was having. I would have them through the years at different times when I was under stress. And he sent me to a psychologist, and I had a long conversation with that psychologist about my issues. And he said, I want you to be very open with me about the things that have bothered you most in terms of your growing up and your parents. And so I did. And I made the determination then that I would write this book. And I wrote it for one reason, to help one person. If I could help one person with what they were doing, then that would be, for me, the greatest thing that I could possibly do. I'll give you an example of this. I went to my brother's church in Nashville, Tennessee. He asked me to come out and talk about my book. And when I finished, a young man, an African-American leader, came to me and said, I want you to sign my book. And I did. And he said, would you mind having a conversation with me later? And I said, no. And so we picked up the phone and talked to each other. He's a leader in a corporation, in a banking organization. And he told me that when he was a young man, he'd been molested by his uncle along with his cousin, who was an addict. And during that time, he had contracted HIV/AIDS, and it was a very difficult growing up period for him. He never spoke with anyone about it until he talked to me about this. And so everywhere I've gone, I've had many conversations with people about what they experience in their life because they don't feel they have a voice to do that. In our world where we live, people are uncomfortable very often talking about these issues, to your earlier point. 1 out of every 5 of us who grew up as a child of an alcoholic. In Chicago alone, that's 500,000 people walking around today in this issue for us.
Right.
So we have to look at these issues, I think, today. And I wrote the book so that I could really start more conversations with people, give people a voice that they did not have. And many have come forward and talked to me about this issue. So it's been very rewarding for me. That was what I looked to do. And another colleague of mine said, that's the work you're doing. It's to help other people. It's to bring other people to Christ as you do this work through your beliefs, which I've done, and also to help them in terms of their recovery from the very conditions that they've gone through. And many go through this issue, Tamara, when they face it.
So, Keith, let me ask you a question. How did that impact you, being in the shadows of that kind of abusive? I'm assuming it's abusive because abuse comes in different phases and different ways. It shows up differently.
Imagine 2 o'clock in the morning, being in your bed sleeping, and hearing a knock on the door. Not really a knock, really more hammering on the door from your father, which would happen virtually every night. Come into the house. He and my mother would get into an argument, mostly violent. My oldest sister and I were often involved in getting up and breaking up those arguments as they happened. And when the morning would come, no one would remember those things that had happened, even though we'd been up a good part of the night and had to get up and go to school the next day. This was my life going forward for many, many years.
So you all suppressed it?
I suppressed it all. I never really talked about it.
And, we always run out of time, but I plan to do a book signing for Keith. I plan to do...
I want him to read it out loud, the whole book, front to back.
But this holiday season, Dear Me Care Circle is the nonprofit we started for family caregivers. And there are so many collaborative bridges, right, 4221 West on Lake Street has got a physical walk-in area for, between HSI, Bobby Wright, mental health, and all of the different issues. But when I found out about Keith's books, Shadows of Sobriety, people can go right to Amazon.
They can go to Audible and get the Audible version of it. They can go to Barnes & Noble and get it. There are many different places.
And you are reading with it. You hear that voice of his.
The voice is great.
Did you read your own Audible?
I read portions of it. I had another person who actually read the book. I had a colleague for 40 years, and I asked him to be one of the endorsers, Bill Heyman, who was very well known in our business as a search leader. And when Bill read it, he called me on the phone one day, and he said, I have to talk to you about your book. And so he started talking to me, and he said, you know what, I've known you for 40 years. But I never really knew you. And I think that's very often.
The inner you.
I know that she didn't either, and that's why.
You know what I find very interesting is that you counsel Fortune 500 people who are leading Fortune 500 companies. And from the outside looking in, you would think if you ascended to that height that you had no problems. But I looked at this series, this episodic Billions. Ace had a counselor, and everyone had access to that counselor. I thought that was just for TV, but that's real life.
It's real life. And I learned to wear a mask and growing up. I learned to wear that mask because I didn't have to show people what was on the other side.
Before we lose you, how do they get the book? What do you have coming up? Where can people find you? Because like Tamara said, where we going to have you reading the book out loud?
That's right.
But what do you have coming up, and where do they get the book?
I do a lot of counseling today with Serenity House out in Addison. So I go out and work with the men and women there and counsel with them. And I'm also doing work with Families Anonymous, which are the men and women, the parents of those who are addicted. Their children primarily. But I'll be doing a book signing on January 28th at the bookstall in Winnetka will be my next appearance. And then I have a Zoom call coming up with Families Anonymous in Oak Brook here in the next few weeks.
Do you mind giving your social so people can actually see what the address is and when they can come and how to get there?
Please go to www.shadowsofsobriety.com, and that's the website for the book. And you also have contact information for me there.
And we will have it on our socials as well. Before we go, my favorite Fred brother, give your socials too so that we can get in contact with you.
You can get all the information you want about the lottery on IllinoisLottery.com. We're on Facebook as well as X and Instagram.
Awesome.
And download our app, Google Play, Apple Play Store.
And we got all month to work on some giveaways, right?
That's right.
Yes.
Well, you know what we're giving away? Thanks. Thank you so much, Winona First, for bringing two more fabulous people. And thank you guys for sharing your story with us. We truly appreciate you. Y'all, we always want to encourage you to keep Love 24 alive. Tell someone that you don't know, a perfect stranger, that you love them. And show someone that you do know how much you love them. Lead with love. Land on love. Brunch bunch. I love you.
Love you, Tammy.
Believers, we love you. Baby Eminem, we love you too. Y'all, stay optimistic. Hey, Londa. I am getting this book today. I'm getting the Audible soundtrack today so that I can literally see what's behind those shadows. I know I got some demons of my own. I'm sure you do too. This is probably, and I'm just going out on a limb, a how to survive your own demons book. Y'all, we will see you tomorrow. Thank you so much. Y'all here on Instagram, thank you so much for joining us. Let me tell you something. If you were struggling as to what you were going to get your family, because you know we're blacking out, right? So we didn't buy anything on Black Friday. Lottery tickets, why not? Somebody could come up. Now you gotta write in that contract that if they do come up, you get 10%. Y'all, peace out. See you tomorrow.